and welcome to another action-packed, exciting hour of the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Rewatch Along Project. This is podcasting the way it used to be and the way you like it. This show is a production of the Something Else Podcasting Network, and it is episode number 152 of Smoky Mountain Wrestling from December 24th, 1994, taped December 5th, 1994, from the Princeton High School in Princeton, West Virginia. My name is Arya, and joining me, as always, is the um, holiday armadillo to my Santa Claus. It's Trey. Trey, how the hell are you doing today?
You know, the town that was like one town over from where I grew up, like it was the county seat of our county.
Hmm.
They had like an event every year that it was the Armadillo Festival, and it was I don't know why we celebrated armadillos, but it was one of the events of the year.
And you were born in the late 80s, so
Hmm.
you may not have much of a memory of your early days. So it's possible that the Armadillo Festival started after that episode of Friends with the holiday armadillo. I doubt it because that kid was like 5 at that point, so it'd have been like the late 90s, early zeros, but you never know.
I think it predated that, but yeah.
Probably. Probably. Yeah, I could not think of its name. That's why there was that long pause at the beginning. I'm like, what the fuck was that thing called? Um, but happy Christmas Eve from Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It's Christmas Eve here in Princeton, West Virginia. And of course, because this show airs different times at different places, the Knoxville version aired on Sundays, and Christmas Chaos is tonight.
Yeah, that's confusing if you put any thought into it at all.
That's true.
I mean, it's
So for
like,
those, Mhm.
I don't know, like we used the Saturday date because that was the date that it aired everywhere else, but then like Knoxville was the main city in the territory.
Yes, and I don't know. I started with this with that first Saturday, and God damn it, that's where we're gonna go until the bitter end, ladies and gentlemen. November 25th, 1995. It is 11 months and 1 day away. So scheduling note for those who for some reason don't listen to the other shows that we put up. First of all, why? However, Cindy's going to be out for the next 2 weeks. And so what that means is that Trey fills in to do TNA, the Wednesday show, and now that we're doing Impact, that's a lot of extra hours on Trey. And so unless Trey is exceptionally bored, we're not going to be doing a Smoky Mountain show for the next 2 weeks because
I'm
Trey's going to be joining us
sorry.
for TNA and Impact.
I'm sorry I sucked it up when it was just like 2 hours of TNA, but that's just it's too much for me. I do have a life outside of this podcast.
And trust me, as the only person who does all the shows, I'm grateful for the break too. Don't
I
worry.
bet. I bet.
Oh God, I did this to my fucking self. Just saying. But yeah, listen. Tomorrow's the first official standalone edition of the classic TNA Impact Report. Go check that out. It's bound. The intro, at least, is bound to get better at some point because I had nothing prepared. And I was just speaking gibberish at the beginning of this week's show. But anyway, again, it is Christmas Eve, 1994. Trey, how old were you at this point?
1994, I was 7.
Any memory at all of what you asked Santa for? Did you still believe in Santa at this point?
I did. It was this might have been my last. It was either the last or second to last believing in Santa.
Yeah, for me it was 8. I had a strong suspicion in advance, but I woke up during the night on Christmas Eve, walked out into the living room, and watched my family carry in my gifts. And they saw me like, oh, Santa left them outside. I'm like, okay. I just turned around and went back to bed.
I Some kid at school told me, and I asked my mom, and she was just like, "Yeah."
I tried telling my brother the next day because I was that asshole of an older sibling, and he had concrete evidence as to why Santa was real. It's because the milk and cookies were gone, and our mother's diabetic, so she wouldn't have eaten them.
Huh.
The idea of them just going back into the tin where they came from did not occur to him at all.
Yeah, I was the youngest, so until my nephews came along.
Okay. All right. So let's jump in. For those who don't remember, this show actually does a decent job of bringing us up on the stuff that happened on the last episode, which we haven't talked about in 2 weeks. Um, but let's go to the intro here with JR and Les.
Everyone, and welcome to Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I'm Jim Ross, along with Les Thatcher. I want to thank you for being with us, ladies and gentlemen, and Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. I've got my very special Christmas tie on this week, Les.
Yes, and happy holidays to you, Jim, and all the fans out there.
Thank you very much, and of course, Dirty White Boy back with us this week.
That's right. We didn't get to update you last week. We didn't hear anything till after the program, but the Dirty White Boy is okay. He's back here today, ready and raring to go.
And ladies and gentlemen, Nature Boy Buddy Landell will be in action in just a few moments.
Yes, he's been out here screaming all on the last program in a suit and tie. Today he's going to be in tights in the ring. We're going to see him in action, Jim.
And folks, we're going to see another Beat the Champ confrontation. Brian Lee once again going for the gold.
That's right. He's got big D'Lo Brown. Remember the Gangsters posse? Beat the Champ. Should be a good one.
And you might want to set your VCRs to this one. You may never see it again. Jim Cornette scheduled to be at ringside and manage the Rock and Roll Express in this very broadcast.
And I want a good seat for that one because who knows what's going to happen.
Folks, again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everybody's going to enjoy Christmas chaos, especially tonight in Knoxville as we take you up to the ring.
Ladies and
So after being murdered last week, Dirty White Boy's back in action this week. He's okay after being suffocated.
I'm really glad I was concerned.
And we thought that Jim Duggan had a fast turnaround in Mid-South. But Buddy has turned in the suit and a tie for boots and tights, and he's going to be in action this week for the first time on this show in over 2 years. And Primetime Brian Lee versus Big D'Lo Brown. You know, D'Lo does a great job of slimming down over the years. I don't know if he appreciates being called Big D'Lo Brown.
He was a big D'Lo Brown.
Yeah. Well, Les is hoping for a good seat for the main event with the Rock and Roll Express. I just hope Les pays for his good seat. You know? Not like he contributed much to the main event anyway. So we go to our opening match, which is the Smoky Mountain champion, Dirty White Boy, versus the champion. Oh, I thought that was going to pop you.
I'm sorry. I was doing the math and I didn't quite get there yet. I'm sorry. I had my notes covered, so I didn't see that it was a nightmare, and it didn't register.
So I imagine the real reason why the Mid-South Nightmare changed his name was so you and I wouldn't get confused, especially since Eddie Gilbert is kind of on his way in.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Now, White Boy, for whatever reason, did not take off his championship cummerbund during the match, which I think should have been a disqualification, especially when Nightmare threw a blow at his midsection and it hurt Nightmare. I don't know. That feels like it's a foreign object DQ at that point. But,
I mean, it's your fault if you try to punch the guy in the dick and you get his belt.
Well, Mark Curtis had more things to worry about over the next 4 hours or the last 4 hours, and White Boy won with the Bucksnort Blaster.
Yeah, that was the match. That was the whole match. They went like 2 minutes.
It was an enhancement match, ladies and gentlemen.
It was very enhancing.
Yes. Let's go to JR, who's with our Smoky Mountain champion.
Tonight is a night in Knoxville. Dirty White Boy, the Nature Boy, Buddy Landell, is coming for your gold.
Buddy Landell, brother, you made 2 mistakes. The first mistake was you tried to smother me to death. But the second mistake, And the worst one of them all is you mentioned the dirty white girl's name. That, brother, is going to get your ass kicked. Now you're going around telling everybody, I rule K-Town. Woo! I'm the real nature boy. You ain't squat to me, punk. I'm the man that rules K-Town, not you. So come Christmas chaos, tough guy, if you think for 1 minute that you're going to walk out in Knoxville, Tennessee, and you're going to walk out the Smoky Mountain heavyweight champion, well, brother, I got news for you. You said you was going to stomp my teeth out. Well, here they are. Stomp them out, because that's a whooping that I've got to take. So, buddy Landell, you get ready, brother, because I'm going to grab you right there in the middle of that Coliseum, right by your goozle, until your eyes pop out of your head, and then I'm going to reach way down in your throat and pull out your guts. You get ready for me, Landell. Christmas chaos, it's going to be hell.
I think White Boy might be whipped, Trae.
Why?
I nearly got murdered, but it was worse because you mentioned my wife's name. I know you're in
How
love
is
with
that?
Kimberly, but I think I would like to think that almost being murdered is worse than somebody mentioning my wife's name on TV,
What does that have to do with being whipped?
because he's like, you know, because it's like I almost got murdered, but the more important thing is that you mentioned my wife's name. Like,
Okay,
I,
well, I'm gonna tell your girlfriend how important she is to you.
I'd like to think if I almost get murdered, she would understand if I was more angry at that than the person who tried to murder me saying her name.
Not if you got to cut a promo to try to sell some tickets in Knoxville.
I was gonna say she's not Joe Hendry. If you say her name, she does not appear. But I will say this: this was a really good, really intense promo. Ignoring that part that I'm nitpicking, I don't know how well it worked for the day of the show, but it was a really good promo. And spoiler, these two are going to continue feuding for a little bit. And I'm looking forward to at least the promo battles.
I assume that they changed the title tonight in Knoxville. I don't know.
We'll see next week, maybe.
Well, you think so? You think we'll see?
Or the week after. I don't know. Let me see. According to my notes, we got 2 more weeks in Princeton, West Virginia, the 31st and the 7th. They usually do a year in review, so that would either be next week or the week after, but I guess we'll see.
Oh God.
But anyway, like I said, I really like this promo. So you can raise money with Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and you can do so by mailing a letter to Morristown, not Bixby. It's amazing how similar these shows are at times.
History rhymes.
Hey, did you notice the Dirty White Boy's real name is Anthony Anthony?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's been so much replaying on the last 2 shows, I was confused. Nature Boy Buddy Landell with Robert Q. Harmon, who is still here, versus Steve Skyfire. I wonder if Harmon flew back to Southern California last week to take care of business and then come back. Now,
Probably.
I hope everyone's sitting down for this. Earlier this week, Jim Ross talked to Ric Flair, and Ric Flair had some stuff to say about Buddy Landell. However, Jim cannot share this juicy gossip with us here on TV. The only place he can share it with us is on the Smoky Mountain Hotline. 1-900-73-SMOKY. It's fun. It's interactive. It's 1-900-73-SMOKY. Parents, get your children's permission.
You
Buddy,
you happy about that?
am I happy about that?
Yeah.
I'm fairly happy that I was able to plug the Smoky Mountain Hotline and actually remember the hotline number. Usually the only
Sure.
hotline phone number I remember is the WCW hotline.
Okay.
1-900 909 9900.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one. I just didn't remember what it belonged to.
Oh God. So Buddy broke out Bob Roop sugar hold. I miss Bob Roop. And Buddy won with his corkscrew elbow and a figure four. Now, there's a famous promo Buddy cuts in about 6 or 7 months on Shawn Michaels, and he mentions when he came back to Smoky Mountain, he was about 260 pounds and a little out of shape. And that's fairly accurate. He's about 260 pounds and a little out of shape here.
I mean, he's still moving pretty well.
Okay. This is dumb, but for some reason I thought about it during this match, even though Brian Matthews has said this on every fucking match where we have a winner on Smoky Mountain TV since the beginning of time. He always says the winner of this match. Like if he doesn't say this match, are the fans going to think he's saying that the winner of the next match is Nature Boy Buddy Landell? You're just not in the mood for shenanigans tonight, are you?
I don't
It's all good.
like. What would you prefer?
I don't know. I'm just, replay of White Boy being suffocated by Buddy. Weird placement. I get White Boy was starting the show and then Buddy, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like this should have aired at the beginning of the show before we saw White Boy and before we saw Buddy. But they stuck it in here. And now JR is with Buddy Landell and Robert Q. Harmon.
Still can't believe you bring a plastic bag out here and try to suffocate the dirty white boy. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And as a matter of fact, I hope you stand by because we got a very interesting 900 number poll question that you might be interested in. I know you're more interested in tonight in Knoxville at Christmas Chaos.
That's right, the plastic bag, it's in the past. That's like Buddy Landell's past. Buddy Landell's past is in the past. I'm a new packaged man. You understand what I'm saying? I've got something I've never had before. Money, the opportunity, people believing in me, and most of all, I love Buddy Landell to death. Now let me tell you something, dirty white boy. You're renting in Knoxville, Tennessee. You pay rent every month. I own. You understand what I'm saying? You know the difference? Money, broke. Speaking of break, if I got to break your neck, your daddy's neck, your mammy's neck, that's exactly what I'm going to do. You're a big, bad individual, but I'm going to kick your stinking teeth in. Now, will you please, for God's sakes, tell this old lady to quit calling me?
Jeez, why are you saying? You're infuriating the dirty white boy. You already said about that situation. Stop that.
I'm playing with your life, dirty white boy. I could have took you out last week, but I didn't do it. I'm saving you for Knoxville, Tennessee, because everybody that I know is going to be there too. I didn't take you out last week because I'm giving Knoxville, Tennessee a present that I haven't been able to give them in years. And that's the Nature Boy Buddy Landell in all his splendor and glory. And on top of that, the coup de grace, the Smoky Mountain heavyweight belt. Lots and lots of money. You understand what I'm talking about? They're talking about these little $2,000, $5,000 battle royals around the country and all that. That's chump change for me. I spill that much in liquor each year. You understand what I'm talking about? Dirty white boy, you're not even in the same caliber as the Nature Boy Buddy Landell. Oh yeah, I've had my problems. But Elvis Presley, till the day he died, never lost his voice. And I've never lost my God-given ability to kick somebody's teeth in. And tonight, Christmas Chaos, you're mine, Tony Anthony. And everybody, you can call me Champ.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Trae, I'm pissed off. Buddy, it took Buddy so long to get his demons under control that we did not get a lot of good Buddy. This was good Buddy, and I fucking loved this. And it just makes me think we could have been seeing him on this show for the past 2 years. And I know we had a lot of great promos, but I love me some Buddy Landell.
Yeah, Buddy Landell would have been the first to tell you that he would have gone a lot further if he hadn't been such a fuck up. But yeah, when he was on, he was incredible.
And that line about how he spilled more liquor than that in his career, that's actually a line that Flair said about him on WCW Saturday Night once upon a time. So I wonder if this means that Dirty White Boy, if this promotion had lasted much longer, if he would have become Nature Boy Dirty White Boy.
The Dirty White Nature Boy.
There you go. Coming out in his own Ric Flair robe with the bleach blonde hair. But he's got the bald spot, so it's
That's
he's
what
missing a giant gift.
I really want to accumulate, like, just a bunch of Crown Royal bags and find somebody who sews to make me like a cloak out of it. That would be what the Dirty White Nature Boy would wear. A robe of Crown Royal bags.
This might be the most obvious question that's ever been asked. What is a Crown Royal bag?
Crown Royal is a brand of Canadian whiskey that typically comes in a little cloth bag with Crown Royal written on it.
I didn't realize it came in a bag. I thought it came in a can.
What whiskey comes in a can?
I don't know, but what whiskey comes in a bag?
They put a bag around the bottle.
Okay, well, when you say a Crown Royal bag, I'm thinking like the label, like it's labeled Crown Royal on the bag.
It is. Have you never had Crown Royal before?
No, but anytime I've ever seen somebody with a bag around their booze, it's a brown paper bag with no logo on it, or the store's logo they got it from.
That's not a Crown Royal bag.
Then no, I've never seen that.
You are so uncultured.
I'm very northern. I'm not sure if you know this or not.
The whiskey's fucking Canadian. You're closer to Canada than I am.
Yes, but like, I don't know, drinking Crown Royal whiskey out of a bag, it's like, I'm sorry, it feels
You
very,
don't drink it out of the bag. You do not. The bag is not a part of the drinking. The bag is a part of the packaging.
The answer is still no, and it still feels very hick and rednecky to have a like Crown Royal bag.
Oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, I don't. Let me see here. Crown Royal bag. I have never seen that in my life. Plus, this is not what you're referring to. This is some sort of a custom. I don't drink Crown Royal. It is really what it is. Like, I'm Googling it, and it's like I don't think it's velvet, but I mean the picture kind of looks velvety. It's like a cloth drawstring bag that says Crown Royal on it.
Yeah, a fucking Crown Royal bag.
Literally have never seen that in my life.
How the fuck are you like 40 and you've never been at a party with Crown Royal?
I can almost guarantee no party I've ever gone to has had a drawstring Crown Royal bag at it.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit.
I will bet, I don't know, my left pinky toe that has not happened.
Okay, find proof that nowhere you have ever been has had a Crown Royal bag there, and I will give you $12 trillion.
I'm sorry, I thought you got mad at me when I used to say prove things that can't be proved. And
exactly.
Like that. I can go back in time.
That's why I just bet a hypothetical amount of imaginary money. Because it's fucking stupid.
You better hope we don't fix that fucking time machine, because you're gonna owe me $11 trillion. I'm
gonna fucking smother you with a Crown Royal bag. It won't kill you because
So,
it's fucking cloth and not plastic, but I'll still enjoy the experience.
do you think that thing's gonna fit over my head? Trae, I know we haven't really met in person before, but I've got a big
Yes,
ass
we
fucking
have.
head.
Yes, the fuck
What?
we have. Jesus.
I'm sorry, I don't remember meeting you. Was it after I transitioned or before?
Before, but that doesn't
I
matter.
blo-
I
I've
look the same.
I blocked everything pre-transition out of my head.
Okay.
My brother's my
Okay.
brother's lucky I still remember him.
Okay. Well, I can't argue with that.
So back to Buddy Landell. This is it's not a great comparison, but it's the first one that popped in my head. If Vince McMahon had been a wrestler, like not a promoter who occasionally did whatever you want to call he did in the ring, if he was an actual wrestler, this is Austin and Vince. This is the blue collar redneck beer drinking champion versus the white collar silver spoon prick trying to take the belt from him. Is it too
Yeah.
soon to induct Buddy into the Something Else Hall of Something Else?
Has he never been inducted in before?
Let me go back into the list here. I imagine the hardcore Something Else fans know this answer by now. But Buddy Landell was inducted on October 27, 2025 for outstanding achievements in being a shithead heel.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, we'll save the Smoky Mountain Buddy Landell induction for later because this is good shit. He's got more good shit to go.
I'm sure he will get an oak leaf cluster on his something else, Medal of Something Else.
Yes. I love that now I've got so many fucking podcast notes. I am like scrolling through pages. They get up and down my document now. Let's see here. I'm very interesting. By the way, you may have heard JR mention that we have a very interesting 1-900 poll question this week. And the poll question is Buddy Landell the true nature boy? I wonder if Buddy spent the 99 cents to call him to vote.
I bet he did. He probably spent $20.
I'm sure Robert Q. Harmon spotted him the $20. So earlier this week, Trae watched Smoky Mountain on like Sunday or Monday, and he said to me this was the best confrontation ever. And now you may have remembered at the beginning of this, they did not tell us what confrontation was. So when we get confrontation with Jim Ross, I'm like, okay, what is this? It was Jim Ross confronting Les Thatcher, I guess, about the entire Rock and Roll Express Gangsters angle since Thanksgiving Thunder. They just spent like 7 or 8 minutes replaying clips.
Yeah, look, I stand by this being the greatest confrontation because we just got like all of the clips leading to this match, and we got New Jack's "The Gangsters Are Black Owned and Black Operated" promo again.
Yep. I want to believe that Chip Kessler is just wandering around the backstage area with a microphone and a cameraman at all times.
I would think so.
Do you think Chip Kessler is hanging around like the Knoxville Civic Coliseum today, like thinking that because nobody told him Smoky Mountain ran out of business, so he keeps waiting for Dirty White Boy to show up or Jim Cornette or the Rock and Roll Express?
Have we heard from Chip Kessler since 1995?
I don't think so. He is not one of the people that JC tried to get a job in the WWF for.
You don't think Vince would have loved Chip Kessler?
Do you remember when he brought in Lance Wright for one weekend? ECW's Lance Wright. The guy used to do Hype Central on ECW. He was on the December 1996 In Your House. He may have been on the Raw taping the next day, and that was it.
Oh, wow.
Because of that, he turned into a shithead heel in ECW. Oh, God. Christmas Chaos commercial. So, okay. They've been promoting this show in Lenore, North Carolina for like weeks. And I don't know. I could not figure out why. Why was Lenore, North Carolina, of all the cities in the world, the one that kept sticking in my head, and it suddenly hit me. Did you ever watch King of the Hill,
Yeah.
Trey?
Yeah.
Okay. Lenore was the name of Bill Dauterive's ex-wife that walked out on him.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And
You remember when he lost his mind and started acting like he was her?
yes, it's one of both the best and worst King of the Hill episodes ever.
One of my favorite. It may actually be the same episode, actually, because it just makes me laugh so hard because it's really this is what you go through when you're like trying to talk to people in your life about being depressed. When Hank comes in and goes, "Well, how do you feel?" And Bill goes, "I don't feel anything," and Hank goes, "Great." That's how it feels to try to get help.
I get it. Wasn't the end of the episode Hank put on a dress?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Maybe we need to do a King of the Hill podcast next too.
Oh, that'd be tremendous.
By the way, I am undoubtedly the first person to ever think of King of the Hill when hearing about Lenore, North Carolina.
Yeah, if we did a King of the Hill podcast, we might finally get my wife on the show.
Nice. We'll talk about the episode where Peggy fell. She didn't fall out of the plane. She was parachuting, and the parachute didn't open.
Oh my God! Last weekend, I mentioned on the Tuesday show that I attended my NFB chapter meeting over the weekend, and there was a guy who announced that he was setting up a thing to go skydiving, and my wife says she wants to go, and that was the first fucking thing I thought of was that episode.
There's so many great Peggy Hill moments, like when she finally found out that what's her name was cheating on her husband, and
Oh my
it's
God!
like
I was
John Redcorn,
I was sitting here thinking
Peggy
that
Hill,
Jahan Redcorn,
Peggy Hill,
Oh,
or oh God, and then when she was on trial in Mexico for substandard Spanish. Or well,
oh
it was
God!
on trial, but for kidnapping little Lupe.
Did you see the new season that came out last year?
I watched the first couple episodes. I never finished it though. How about you?
It's very good actually, but yeah, she thinks she knows Arabic now.
Oh, great. That sounds promising. John. Too bad we didn't know we were gonna have a John Redcorn, Peggy Hill, King of the Hill discussion. That could have been the intro instead of trying to remember the fucking holiday armadillo.
The Jahan Redcorn to my Peggy Hill.
John Redcorn, what are you doing? Get in there and start rubbing my wife's shoulders. He's taking the fun out of this. Oh God. Primetime Brian Lee defending the Beat the Champ TV title against D'Lo Brown. It's D'Lo's second title shot in the last couple of weeks. They claim it's Brian Lee's third title defense. I didn't bother going back to look. I guarantee it fucking wasn't. And Primetime Brian Lee had a match here. Les and JR are like, can you imagine if the Gangstas had control over both the tag titles and the TV title? Like, well, at most that would last 4 weeks, so calm the fuck down. Keep in mind, they don't have the heavyweight title, and when Jim Cornette was scraping the bottom of the barrel to find challengers for White Boy, not once did he look in their direction.
Oh my God, New Jack is Smoky Mountain champion.
It either would pop the territory or kill the territory.
So I was just listening to like a pretty old like Cornette being on the what's that territories booking the territory.
Yep.
Yeah, and he talked about a lot about the Gangstas, and he was like, well, they got heat in the big towns, and then At the spot show towns, it was getting dangerous.
Yeah. It was, we don't want to see these people on the show.
Yeah.
So the finish saw D'Lo go up top for a moonsault like Vader and missed like Vader. And Primetime Brian Lee won with something.
I was,
It was kind of a running splash. And
but
they
it
were like, oh,
was.
maybe it was an elbow drop.
I wrote elbow drop question mark splash question mark. I don't fucking know.
Brian Lee has never done this move in his life and probably never does it again.
Probably a good thing.
Oh God, yeah, and Brian Lee officially quit the territory. It came out this week. And Bruiser Bedlam is going to be on the shelf for a little while because he was supposed to feud with Brian Lee in January, but now they don't have anyone for Bruiser Bedlam to feud with. Spoiler alert, Bruiser Bedlam is still waiting for that feud with Primetime Brian Lee to come back to Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, he never comes back, does he?
We haven't seen him against Cactus Jack, right? Because I think he has a TV match with Cactus.
I don't think we've seen Bruiser Bedlam against Cactus Jack.
Okay, so I believe we have at least one more Bruiser Bedlam match, but there's a lot of turnover in this territory in the next few weeks and the next month or so, which, hey, is never a bad thing. Let's just say that. All right, so let's go to JR, who's with Cactus Jack and Primetime Brian Lee.
Cactus and Primetime Brian Lee, this is the last opportunity we'll have to talk before tonight's big event in Knoxville. With Falls Count Anywhere, it may be the last time we talk, period.
It may be, Jim Ross, but you're being a little bit pessimistic because remember what I am. I'm the man that took the Falls Count Anywhere match and made it into an art form. Did you see Brian Lee out there rejuvenated? Yes! Absolutely. But we've got to realize, Brian, that this is no ordinary match on the Christmas Chaos Tour, which is fine with us because we are no ordinary men! It's like a playground. But even so, Jim, even in my mind, you got to be realistic because the body count runs awfully high in a match where anything goes, where Falls Count Anywhere. But luck is in our corner because Boo Bradley, the man who won't see the light, because Chris Candido, we have nothing left to lose. At one time, Brian Lee was a very good-looking young man. He ain't no more. At one time, Cactus Jack was borderline human being looking. Well, I ain't no more. So, Boo Bradley, what are you going to do? Kick out my teeth? Someone beat you to it. What are you going to do? Rip off this ear? Someone beat you to it. But you boys have everything to lose. Your careers, your jobs, and if fate be that way at Christmas Chaos, your very lives, because you're taking them into your filthy hands when you try to work him. Falls Count Anywhere. When you try to fight me, Falls Count Anywhere, which means if I see a chair, I'll use it. If I see a table, I'll use it. Steel chairs and trash cans and hard wooden tables. Landing on concrete as long as I'm able. Hitting with forearms and things that sting. These are a few of my favorite things. Bang, bang.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
We said it before. It's like I kind of wish Cactus could have stayed here. But the problem is he was going to make most of his money in Japan at this point, and he needed to basically live in a more major airport hub than Atlanta. So he basically had to move back to New York. And Corny could have afforded to bring him in for $500 a shot or whatever he was making, he wasn't going to fly him in from New York, even monthly to do a TV taping or a Knoxville show.
So was Atlanta not as big a hub in like the 90s as it became? Because Atlanta is like a huge fucking hub.
I mean, I don't know. Like when I think of like that, I'm thinking of like, New York. You're not going to get a direct flight from New York to New York to Tokyo, but like I don't know. Actually, I think you can because I think Mick said in his book that he got a direct flight from New York to Tokyo, whereas Atlanta there'd be at least one stop.
Yeah, that's not that bad though.
Yeah. Well, I think it might have something to do with it, but who knows? Because like he mentions he's closer to ECW, but let's be honest, no matter what we try to romanticize 94, 95 ECW as, it's not ECW. You know, that
Yeah, I
had
mean,
nothing to do with his decision to move back closer to home.
if it's because he could get direct flights from New York to Tokyo and not from Atlanta to Tokyo, I respect that.
But I had to laugh because even though I know it's a coincidence, 1 year almost to the day of the infamous failure in ECW, the body count match, Mick Foley references body count. That's all I could think of. And then Primetime Brian Lee is now ugly. I mean, he's not as handsome as he was 2 years ago, before he met Kevin Sullivan and before he met Ted DiBiase. I did think it was funny. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but they cut away when he went to show his ear nub. They cut to the other camera that didn't show his nub.
Wow.
But yeah, and I actually had to laugh because JR says this may be the last time he ever talks to Cactus Jack. There's a chance this is the last time he talked to Cactus Jack. Because he talks to Mankind, he talks to Mick Foley, but does he ever talk to Cactus Jack again, ever on television?
I don't know if he talked to Cactus Jack again. Talked about Cactus Jack.
Yep.
It could be.
We'll see in the next couple of weeks because, that match with Bruiser Bedlam's on the last episode of the taping.
Okay.
So, we'll see here. But yeah, again, another great promo. I know, shockingly, Mick Foley cuts good promos. And it does continue the joke that we keep having these tag team promos where one person never talks.
That's the point of having a tag team. One guy can't. Well, one guy can work and one guy can talk.
Yes. Hey, you want to see Robert?
It's just that it just happens to be that in this team, it's the same guy.
Hey, you want to hear Robert Gibson and Brian Lee cut promos, especially Robert Gibson, first 6 months of Smoky Mountain, because Ricky doesn't come in until August. You want to hear Robert talk? There's your chance. Oh, God. I still love the 3 top babyface promos in Smoky Mountain those first 6 months. Primetime Brian Lee, Robert Gibson, and White Lightning Tim Horner. Jim was pulling his hair out at that point.
That sounds fucking horrific.
It was. Anyway, we get a replay of Tracy Smothers winning a match last week with an STF, leading into the I Quit match with Bryant Anderson. Bryant is going to cut a pre-taped backstage promo leading into Tracy talking to JR live.
Smothers, I'm really looking forward to Christmas this year because I'm going to get a fantastic present. I'm going to get one more chance to step in the ring with you. Christmas chaos, Tracy. You know that shoulder of yours is already hurting. You know it's already weak. And when we get in the ring, Tracy, I'm going to make sure it comes completely out of the socket. Tracy Smothers, my Christmas present is going to be showing the world the quitter you really are. I'm going to make you say those magic words. I quit.
Stakes are high. Tonight is the night in Knoxville. Pinfalls don't count. One man's got to say, I quit, to the whole world.
Got it, Mr. Ross. You know something? My shoulder's not 100% right now. I've been therapy, but I gotta go. You gotta play hurt. That's professional wrestling. I'm banged up and beat up, but I'm not about to give up. And Brian Anderson, that comes straight from a good family, Bullet Bob Armstrong. So I'm gonna tell you this, big boy. I've gotta live by the 3 Ds if I'm gonna get through this mess. Dedication, determination, and desires. And to remember the I's: agile, mobile, and hostile. It's 80% mental. It's 20% physical. And it's 100% in your heart and your guts. And I got the heart of all outdoors, Brian Anderson. The best Christmas present I could have would be for Brian Anderson at Christmas Chaos tonight in Knoxville, tomorrow in Johnson City, to say, I quit. That would make my Christmas complete. So Santa Claus, my order's in. I'll see you tonight, Brian Anderson, at Christmas Chaos. Because this whole country boy has done a lot of things and been a lot of things, but a quitter ain't never been one of them. I'll see ya. I wouldn't want to be ya.
All right, Tracy.
I tried writing down all of the Tracyisms from this promo. but I couldn't. It would basically been writing down the entire damn promo at that point.
I enjoyed the three aisles: agile, mobile, and hostile.
I thought he said that last week. Maybe I'm crazy, but I
I
thought he
don't.
said that one already.
He may
The three
have,
D,
and I didn't
the
catch
three
it.
D's were new.
Yeah.
Well, the determination, dedication, and I don't know, degradation. It was not degradation. I don't remember what it was. Desire, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So he's gonna ask Tracy to beat Brian Anderson, or he's gonna ask Tracy. Wow, he's gonna ask Santa to beat Brian Anderson in an I Quit match. Shouldn't Santa already have his list of things that he's supposed to give out already? Even if it's only Christmas Eve, I think the guy already has it all set.
Well, he already asked for it. It's just.
Now, do you think? I don't know why, but like, even though I knew this is not a comedy territory, I know that funny doesn't make money, according to young Master Cornette. But for some reason, I really wanted a skit of Brian Anderson sitting on Santa Claus's lap, asking to beat Tracy in an I Quit match.
If only.
I don't know why Bryant of all people too. Like not Tracy, not any of the baby faces. Bryant Anderson. By the way, do you think Ole got him anything for Christmas? Do you think Ole's the kind of parent who kept buying his kids gifts after they turned 18?
No. I think
You
Ole
think
was
Ole
the
bought?
kind. I think Ole was the kind of parent that his wife bought the gifts.
And put his name on it?
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance that if Ole had and he'd been, or at least was in charge of the wrapping the gifts, he'd write them from Mom and Ole. Even though his name isn't Ole, but uh, um, anyway, Tracy versus Bryant tonight at Christmas Chaos. So we go to commercial, we come back from commercial, and a smirking New Jack is there with Jim Ross and Mustafa for a promo before the main event. Let's go to that now.
Okay, everybody, our TV main event, Rock and Roll Express, managed by Jim Cornette, still to come. And I guess TuPac Shakur will not be in Knoxville tonight.
No, unfortunately, he won't be here because he got shot up out in L.A. But that ain't what we talking about. We talking about the original gangsters now. You got people claiming to be OGs from Atlanta, Georgia, to Philadelphia, PA, you understand? But if you ask the Rock and Roll Express, they'll tell you who the original gangsters are. Now, they done went and did the ultimate. They go and get Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, you want to play with us? Well, I tell you what you do. You roll your big, fat, 12 sandwich eating butt down to Knoxville, and baby, you better believe we'll smack you like we done smacked Rick and Robert. And I can't even believe that you were stoop as low as to get somebody as conniving as Cornette. Cornette, you're low, but you ain't as low as the gangsters, you understand? You want to see what it's like to deal with us? Well, baby, get in the car, show up in Knoxville, and you best believe, Cornette, I'll smack that fat belly of yours like we done dropped Rick and Robert. And I don't even think you gonna be able to save the rock and roll this time. I wouldn't trust Cornette no fun I could pick him up and roll his fat butt down the hill. But you best believe you in for a long night, partner.
Well, I think you're right. I don't trust Cornette either. As a matter of fact, we're about to see them. Would you like to hang around and watch this?
Oh, we gonna stay out here to see this, you understand? We ain't going nowhere. But we gonna see just how bad Cornette get ready to embarrass Ricky and Robert.
All right, let's go up to the ring, ladies and gentlemen, our main event.
So apparently TuPac, this was the time when TuPac got shot in Manhattan.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
I was confused because he said in L.A. and it was so I looked it up and I assumed that they were referring to his May 1994 weapons charge arrest in L.A.
Maybe
Maybe he conflated two different things.
that is possible. Because let's hear. This is according to Fox5NY.com, and that's where you go for all your hip hop news. After the Quad Studios incident, TuPac and Biggie's friendship quickly soured. Shakur openly accused Biggie, his label Bad Boy Records, and Sean Puffy Combs of having prior knowledge of the shooting, an accusation they vehemently denied. And apparently this led to the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry, which again, if you're going to go any place for your rap rivalry talk, it's this show, obviously, you know?
Well, Sean Puffy Combs, I can't imagine that fella not being a beacon of personal integrity.
Oh, God. We're going to get sued for so many reasons. Um, we're getting sued, we're getting canceled, everything in between. But New Jack is going to be at Christmas Chaos tonight. TuPac is not. And I'm always shocked anytime Jim Ross knows things like that. Like he knows who Tupac Shakur is. Like
Of
I don't
course
know
he
that.
does.
I don't know. That just feels very not on brand for Jim Ross.
Jim Ross seems like he knows about a lot of things that you wouldn't expect.
I can't wait for the description of this podcast. Tupac being shot and his feud with Biggie and Puff Daddy.
The description of this podcast is going to be fucking ridiculous.
The Armadillo Festival. When did you stop believing in Santa? Crown Royal bags. King of the Hill. Tupac being shot and his feud with Biggie and Puffy. Oh God. We're either going to get like no listens or a billion listens on this episode. I don't know if we go anywhere between. So, New Jack was invited. I guess Mustafa was too, but again, Mustafa says, as much as Trae does when he's pissed off at me. They were invited to stay and do commentary on the main event, and they agreed to stay and do commentary on the main event of this show, which was the Rock and Roll Express with Jim Cornette versus Los Infernales, aka the Infernos. I don't know why these names are much more fun seeing them in Spanish.
Yeah, they are.
Jim Ross, Les Thatcher, and New Jack. Now,
What a
Cornette did not come
fucking
out. Go ahead.
what a fucking combination. I wish they were the permanent. I wish they were the permanent team.
Cornette does not come out during the entrances, but did show up after the match began. Cornette poked one of them with his racket, but it was also behind Ricky and Robert's back. Jack said on commentary that D'Lo has never gotten involved in a match. They mentioned that Cornette's racket is filled with lead, possibly. And I don't know, but he must be pretty fucking strong if his racket is filled with lead, because that's a heavy-ass racket to be carting around at all times. Did you ever watch 30 Rock?
No.
Okay. Well, there was an episode where Kenneth, who is one of the pages at NBC, he gave all these ideas for shows, and one of them was called Gold Case, which was a spinoff of Deal or No Deal, but one of the cases was filled with legitimate gold, and which was great in theory, except the fact that the case weighed like 100 pounds, and it was very obvious which model was holding it each time. And that's what I was thinking here when talking about Jim Cornette's lead in his racket. And Ricky pinned one of them with a double drop kick.
It was indeed one of them.
Yes. Usually you're the person that pays attention to who raises whose hand during the intro. I did not.
I didn't pay any attention. But yeah, I'm sorry, did you note that New Jack said that never mind, you must have.
What?
Well, I know you said it was loaded, but you say he was going to get it and use it on Cornette, Ricky Robert, the referee, and a few fans.
I heard him say doing on Ricky Robert and Cornette. I didn't hear him say on the fans and the referee.
He's a Cornette, Ricky Robert, the referee, and a few fans.
See, I was too busy talking about 30 Rock to listen to New Jack doing commentary.
What did poor Mark Curtis do?
Maybe they'll get a new referee. Maybe Mark Curtis is encouraging this behavior so they could hire a second referee.
You think?
Possibly. After the match, the commentating team hit the ring for the attack. Cornette walked off, and JR knew all along that the Rock and Roll Express could not trust Jim Cornette. He is walking off after they're being attacked. They're being attacked by the gangsters. But wait a minute. Cornette is back with extra tennis rackets, and they run the gangsters off. I'm not sure why, and I guess this is more of a still to come kind of thing. But when he went to the back, I was half expecting him to come out with the Armstrongs to make the save.
This was better.
Yes, agreed. All right, so I'll tell you what. I was extremely disappointed in one thing in this entire episode, and specifically this last segment. I was begging for an on-camera shot of Jim Ross, Les Thatcher, and New Jack sitting behind the desk doing commentary.
Oh, that would have been the best.
That would have been the logo for every episode from now until episode 200, even though 2 out of the 3 people don't make it more than the next few months.
That would have been outstanding.
Yes. Oh, God. Let's go to a show-ending promo with the Rock and Roll Express and Jim Cornette. It's a little longer than usual show-ending promos because they have a little bit extra time this week.
I wouldn't believe it, and I'm still not comfortable about this situation, Rick. I know tonight's the night in Knoxville.
I know, Jim. But I want everybody to take one good look at this right here, because it would never happen again. The Rock and Roll Express out here with none other than Jimmy Cornette, and we're all holding tennis rackets. Get a picture, because it's gonna be a collector's item. But you know, I'll be glad when the night's over and Christmas Chaos is over, because once we put those Smoky Mountain titles back around our waist, where it belongs, with the help of Jimmy Cornette, this will be over, and we don't have to be around you anymore.
Believe me, I echo those sentiments, because I can't stand every second that I've had to spend with you guys over the past few weeks. But I guarantee you one thing, as the people are watching this tonight in Knoxville, it kicks it off, Christmas Chaos, and all this week. And on the Christmas Chaos Tour, you are going to become the new Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions. You're going to beat those gangsters, and I'm going to make sure of it, because there's nobody more devious, more disreputable than James E. Cornette. And I'm going to tell you something. Look at this. Look at this, New Jack. When your neck turns permanent green, and I ain't talking gangrene, I'm talking Kermit green, you're going to realize you shouldn't wear that stuff, because this is the real gold. I'm sorry you guys left in such a hurry. You forgot to take them. Don't worry. We ain't going to steal them now. We're going to take them in the ring. But at Christmas Chaos, I made you a promise, and I'm going to stick to it. And I'm making everybody out there a promise. Gangsters, you got a big surprise coming. Everybody's eyes are going to be wide at Christmas Chaos, because Jim Cornette and the Rock and Roll Express together again for the last time.
That's it. And it's Christmas for everybody, because we all want to wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's.
And you know what I'd like to say? Bah humbug. I hope y'all found a lump of coal in your stocking. But you do swing a pretty good racket.
You got that right, Scrooge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
So when Ricky said he wishes everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, is he also wishing it to New Jack and Mustafa?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I mean, it is a polite babyface thing to do. But yeah.
Christmas
yeah.
is the time of year for putting your differences aside.
I'd like to think that the 4 of them sat down, or the 5 of them, including Cornette, 6 of them, including D'Lo, sat down and had Christmas dinner earlier in the day together.
I hope so.
And had a gentleman's agreement to go and have a good, clean, sportsmanlike battle. Which I'm sure they'll show us up in the future on one of these shows.
Definitely, I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't say a whole lot about this. They all hate each other. Jack left his chain and belt on the desk, and Cornette said he won't steal their belts now, but will tonight.
I thought this was great as far as promoting that deal.
Yeah. It was certainly a fun little promo here. It was a nice end of the show promo. And I don't know what happens next. But I'm ready to move on, but I don't know what they have to move on with.
I don't know what they have to move on with in most of this territory, but
Yeah.
we're gonna find out.
I mean, like, I mean, I think it's safe to assume Ricky and Robert are winning the titles back, you know, at Christmas Chaos. Um, and it's like there's one other team in the territory currently, and it's Scott and Steve Armstrong. And I can't imagine anybody, and no offense to Scott and Steve Armstrong, but I can't imagine either of them feuding with, fucking Scott and Steve Armstrong moving forward. And I know we're eventually going to get Al Snow in the Unabomb, and we're eventually going to get the Thugs, but I'm pretty sure neither of them are happening in the next month. In fact, I know neither of them happen because it's supposed to be Eddie Gilbert in Unabomb, and Eddie Gilbert dies in February.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
something's gonna happen on these shows that we're gonna watch.
I hope so. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting there like, okay, let's get to November here quickly. Maybe they'll all wrestle for the Beat the Champ TV title
Before it disappears.
in May. Yep. So 150 down. 152 down, 48 to go. If this was TEW 2020, we'd have one full year left. So, what else happened in the world of wrestling? WCW held the granddaddy of them all, Starrcade 94, a show I recently watched for book 3 of my book series. The show was main evented by Hulk Hogan versus Brutus Beefcake, aka the Butcher. And this show featured Randy Savage in his WCW pay-per-view debut. It featured the pay-per-view debut of Triple H and featured in prominent matches Vader, Sting, Booker T, Arn Anderson, Mark Merrow, Kevin Sullivan, Alex Wright, the Nasty Boys. And this was by far the worst pay-per-view of all of 1994 and quite possibly the most forgotten bad pay-per-view. This show sucked.
I randomly rented that like in the early 2000s and saw it, so I can testify that these things are true.
And everyone always talks about who is the bigger ego of all time, Triple H or Hulk Hogan. Well, in like 1998, 1999, Hulk Hogan was still trying to get Eric Bischoff to bring in Yokozuna so he could get his win back over Yokozuna from King of the Ring 93, even though Yoko couldn't pass a state athletic commission physical. Triple H, to the best of my knowledge, has never tried to get Vince to hire Alex Wright so he could come in and get his win back.
Maybe he just trusts that nobody remembers.
So people who are longtime readers of The Observer know that at the beginning of January, end of December, Dave likes to compile a list of every show that drew 10,000 people and who was the person that headlined the most shows that drew at least 10,000 people during the year. And this was the first year that he did that. Now, Trey, do you hazard a guess in all of pro wrestling in 1994, through the verifiable records that Dave would have in 1994, mind you, who drew the most 10,000 people houses in 1994? Or I guess who headlined the most shows? You know, sometimes shows sell tickets well before the main event is announced.
Yeah. 1994. Conan?
Conan with 13.
All right, look at me.
Elsewhere, ECW contacted Dan Severn's manager asking him to come in to do the job on an ECW show for Dean Malenko. Severn's manager was like, bitch, no. And this ended up being like a regular thing that Paul keeps trying to bring in a UFC guy to do jobs for people in ECW. And the fact that he managed to get it to work once is astounding, but it's like the nerve, really. The nerve.
When he finally got Paul Varlins to lose to Taz.
And Misty still wouldn't blow him. This is one that we can say that we will not be sued for. Missy Hyatt has said that she said, because Paul Varlins put up a fight about having to lose to Taz because Taz is a foot shorter than him. And Missy offered to blow him if he does the job. And then she said that she refused to blow jobbers. And this is going to be one of those only notably to me things because of where it was. Apparently, on December 27th, there was a TV taping for something called the ICW in Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania, which is only 21 miles from where I grew up in Gerardville, Pennsylvania. And we had no idea it was happening, or else we would have been there. On this show, among others, were Johnny Gunn, Greg Valentine, Coco Ware, Tony Atlas, and a man named King Kaluuya. And if you are somebody who went to Pennsylvania indie shows in the 90s, you know King Kaluuya. But he's just one of those guys that he was like a Pennsylvania indie legend is a strong word, but he was a Pennsylvania wrestling name that he was on like every indie show you ever went to in the 90s.
Oh. Never heard of him.
Yeah. I forget who's the other person that was like based. Oh, Tarantula was another one in Pennsylvania who was on like every indie show you ever went to in the 90s.
Tarantula?
Yeah. Yes. He was based out of Pittsburgh.
Oh.
All right. I actually saw him against Larry Zbyszko in like 2007, 2008. So yeah. All right. So that is going to do it for Smoky Mountain. Like I said, we have less than a year to go. 11 months, if you will. And boy, oh boy, does this territory change a lot in the next 11 months.
I
But
shudder to think.
Yep. But yeah, once again, unless Trae is super bored in the next 2 weeks, we're not going to be back until July 2nd. And then we're going to have to figure out that taping schedule around Chicago because that's going to be that's the one thing we're not even considering, but we've got to figure it out soon. But all right, so that's going to do it for this week's show. I want to thank you all for listening. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and we'll talk to you again in 7 days.
Bye.